Hey man, welcome to DK's Den. This is the first episode of the podcast. This is just awesome, isn't it? I mean, to be able to reach out to hopefully 100 people at the least. I'm not going to go to like 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1 billion or whatever because there's no way that can happen on the first podcast. So this is pretty freaking epic, right? If you hear squeaking or anything, that's my chair, and I apologize for that. That's just the way my chair likes to roll. But if you did decide to listen to this podcast, or if you did decide, hey, I want to see what the heck this is about, even though he has no art on there to say, hey, this is DK's Den, that's because I haven't designed one yet, or I just don't have the resources. More likely than not, it's the resources. I just don't have the money for it, and I don't have the. I have the experience. I just don't have the money for it. But man, I hope y'all are having a great day. If you're not, I hope this podcast lifts you up, or at least gets you out of the way for the day, and just tries to bring you back right on down. So let's dig in, man. I just want to say real quick at the beginning and the end of this podcast, if there's anything that you want to hear me talk about specifically, just hit me up on Facebook, man. DK Campbell. I'm there. Okay? I should be like the first one to pop up. I'm like the little guy in the fresh Tony Hawk looking stuff with the vans. Okay? I'm a skateboarder, born and bred. I don't do my skateboarding no more. So don't ask me to. I can't even do it all and save my life nowadays. But hit me up on there. Hit me up on Instagram, DK Campbell dot no DK dot Campbell DK dot Campbell dot nine. That's it. Yeah. And just hit me up on there, hit me up in the messages, hit me up on the page, whatever you want to do, man. Just hit me up and tell me what you, the audience, would like to hear me talk about. But I got some stuff to talk about today, and we're gonna dig right on in. I think you're gonna enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. So let's see. First up on the topic is what happened this week in my life. Let's see. What did I do Monday? I really haven't done much this week at all. I go to the library. Anybody go to the library here? You say yes or no, can't tell. So, but if you don't go to the library, you need to, and here's why: the library has all this vast stuff, man, and it's all free. Let me repeat that for you: it's all free. Okay, it's crazy. They have DVDs, they have books, they have PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Wii games, Nintendo Wii U games. They got everything there, man, and it's all free. Okay, you ain't gotta pay nothing unless you done messed up and you kept it longer than what you were supposed to because you got so into it. I've been there, I've done that, and I understand. But I've been going to the library ever since I was probably in a stroller. My mom and dad, well, my mom always took me. Dad never went, as far as I know, and he just stayed home, and she got me into this place, man. I've been going there since I was little, and it's been awesome. I love the library. I love it with with a straight and sweet passion. Sorry, I'm a little tongue tied, and it's just amazing and freaking awesome how cool the place is. You know, you kind of get to meet people you used to. You don't now because everybody's on the phones. But if you do get to meet somebody, it's probably the greatest feeling in the world because they take time out of their busy day to say, hey, I like that book that you got. Or, hey, I like that movie that you're going to watch. Or, hey, that CD you're going to listen to, that's a good CD. You know, and sometimes I get up there and I'm checking stuff out and they're like, oh, I didn't even know we had this. I'm going to put this on my list. That's happened more times than not. And that's because I've been going to the library ever since I was younger. And I think it's something that this generation needs to do a lot more. They need to read a lot more. They need to get out a lot more. They need to go to the library, man. If nothing, just go to the library. All right. It's got comic books too. We're gonna get into that deep deep later. I got some comic books that I want to talk to you about. We're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be really cool. But so I went there and I got some stuff. You know, I got Game of Thrones again. I'm gonna try it again. I've watched all seasons, but the last winter is coming. It's coming in like I think April. I think it's April. Should be April. Hold on, I'm pretty sure it's April. Let me check. If it's not April, y'all gonna make fun of me. That's fine. I can live with that. Let's see. Game of Thrones. And the last date is. Don't tell me, of course. Go to the Internet Movie Database, people. I'm telling you, it's one of the best ones besides Wikipedia. Look up movies and TV shows and stuff. And usually I know this, but I'm flabbergasted today. I haven't slept good. April. It is April. I was right. Okay. So the last season starts in April. I'm gonna start watching that again. I'm gonna try The Office again. I watched some of the first season last night. I've tried The Office at least 5 times, and I can never get into the show. I can never get into this daggum show, and I don't know why. It's to me, it is not funny. It just doesn't make me laugh. I'm more of a give me a dirty joke and I'll laugh my butt off kind of guy. This show, not so much. It's got these little moments where you like the people, you do like the people, but the comedy is so deadpan, it's so cringy, as a friend of mine said, it goes over your head and you just don't think about it. And I guess, in a sense, you had to know what working is like in order to do that. And I've only had one job, and that was at Walmart. And that was like back in 2013. And I was only there for like a month or 2 weeks. And I was only there for a month or 2 weeks because before that, my dad had a heart attack and a stroke. And so I had to support him and my mom. And that's way off topic. But still, I guess you had to work and know what it's like to be in the office or to work longer than a month or 2 weeks to be able to get this, I guess. At least that's my opinion. You tell me yours, man. You tell me if you are yay or nay for this show. I want to know what your opinion is on that. Because I have dead seriously tried. And I got the second season because I don't have Wi Fi either. I got Wi Fi right now because I'm on a hotspot from, wait for it, the library, you know. And so that's another cool thing about it. They give out free Wi Fi. Yeah, free Wi Fi. Everybody loves free Wi Fi. Alright? So that's that. Let's see. And then the next thing is. Alright, man. How many podcasts do y'all listen to? Do y'all listen to like one? Do y'all listen to like 10, 15, 20? What is it, man? I want to know. Let me hear your opinion on that, too. But see, the thing is, I listened to a podcast the other night. I was still with my mom. Yeah, my mom actually sit down and listen to a podcast. If you know my mother, she don't do that. She's too tired from work. She works at a daycare. That's all I'm going to tell you. There's some badass kids. That's how she describes it. So that's how I'm going to describe it. And yeah, man, that's just how it is, you know. And I understand she works hard. She needs to rest, needs to stay down and not watch stuff and all that. And that's just how it is. So the thing is, though, I was I was listening to this podcast called The Rewatchables, right? If you haven't heard it or listened to it, you need to go look it up and check it out because it's really good. At least the first episode is. I haven't listened to any of the others yet. But the first episode was about one of my favorite movies. Okay? And if you've never seen Dazed and Confused, you need to pause this bad boy, pop that DVD in, or find it online, or whatever you got to do. Don't mention me. Don't even name me. I will deny, and plead the fifth and all that jazz. I ain't playing. I ain't going to jail for y'all. Love the audience, love the work. Not going to jail. Not Nick Bubba. It ain't happening. Okay, so the thing is though, Days Confused is this 24 little 24-hour movie about these kids in like 1976 who are just looking to get stoned, to get drunk, and party and stuff. And it's about these juniors becoming seniors and these eighth graders becoming freshmen. And basically, they dig all up in that. And this is one of my mom's favorite movies. And so she actually cooked dinner and ate dinner while listening to this thing before Chicago Fire came on. So they was just talking about different stuff, and she was just shaking her head and agreeing. And I got a friend of mine, Tony. He's the only time I'm going to hear his name on this because I try not to name drop anybody because I don't know how they feel about it yet. But Tony listened to it as well. Tony's a good friend of mine, and he listens to a lot of different podcasts. And he'll even like the film in retrospective and the discussion of it. And I do. I love all that stuff. I'm a big film buff. So Tony listens to it, and Tony's like, "Hey man, this ain't that bad." He said, "I don't even like this kind of stuff," but he said this is actually really good. They really dug deep into it. They hit all the notes. And he was like, "This is just really, really pretty good." And I was like, "Thank you, sir." I was like, "Thank you. I know it is, isn't it?" And so I got him to listen to it, Mom listened to it, and Mom was like, "I liked it. I liked it." She said, "I might not listen to any of the others, but I will listen to that." She'll listen to mine too. Don't let her tell you any different. She loves me. And so, if you haven't watched Days Confused, you need to watch it because it's one of the best movies ever made. It's got one of the best soundtracks ever. If you are a classic rock fan, this soundtrack will become your Bible. Basically, that's it. Okay, this bad boy will become your magnum opus Bible. All right, and I know what magnum opus means before anybody says anything, and it's so brilliant and kind of beautiful the way that they did this. You know, because you start out with Aerosmith's "Sweet Emotion," and the movie version you end it with Foghat. Um, Slow Ride, Foghat Slow Ride. And you hear Slow Ride again at one point in the movie before the end, and I thought that was really cool. And one of the most touching parts of the whole movie, I think, is when the beer's all gone and the weed's been smoked and everything. There's this one song that comes on. It's one of the greatest songs ever made, I think. One of, not the best, Tuesday's Gone with the Wind by Lynyrd Skynyrd, man. Because that song right there just touched on that scene. Richard Linklater really did a great job with that scene, with that whole movie. I mean, that whole movie was just freaking amazing and epic and lovely. You get him to say those words a lot, because that's how I talk. That's how I describe things. Okay, and it's just the way he got all this from point A all the way to point B. I don't want to say it's like Birdman, where there wasn't a single take where you could tell if there was a continuity or not, because there was. You could see that in some aspects you could, in some aspects you can't. Excuse me, and you just gotta sit down, watch it, and then listen to that podcast. That's just awesome. I don't know those guys personally, but they got my mom to sit down and listen to a podcast. I want to say thank you for that. Okay, that's amazing. All right. Okay, if you are anything like me, you woke up this morning and you was like, "Oh my gosh, they just released the new Avengers Endgame, Avengers 4 trailer, and it is officially called Avengers Endgame." All right, me and a couple of my friends, we've had plenty of discussions about that. All right, excuse me, and so I woke up this morning and I'm just watching it, I'm absorbing everything. And I'm going to tell you my play by play of it. And I want to know what your opinion is, man. And if you have seen Days Confused, I want to know what your opinion is on that too. So hit me up on anything that I talk about and let me know what you want me to talk about as well. We can make this podcast longer than what it needs to be. We can make this podcast our podcast, you know? So I woke up this morning and I had bad hearing. I didn't put my headphones in, so I heard some of it and I heard not some of it. So I'm worried about Tony, man. I'm worried about Iron Man because that dude's still in space somehow. Nebula's got back, so they kind of messed up there. So maybe he comes back with them, or maybe he dies up there in space. I don't think so. I think he came back with Nebula because there's no way Iron Man's going to go out like that. But he's talking, and if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I'm so sorry. Spoilers. Pause this bad boy, pop that trailer in, and just watch it. If you haven't seen the trailer, why? You've been working, feeding the dog, playing with the dog, feeding the cat, playing with the cat. Hey, it's cool, I understand. But Tony is up there in space still. And Natasha and Cap and everybody is still down on Earth. And Thanos, when he did the snap, 50% of the population went away. He did it. If you haven't seen the last Avengers movie, he did it. Sorry, that's a spoiler too. I gotta get better with that. But it's just the whole trailer blows my mind. It's gonna be one hell of an epic ride and one hell of an epic time. And I'm trying not to cuss as much because I cuss a lot. But I don't want to do that on this podcast because I want kids to be able to listen to this as well. And so there's just this whole thing, about the Avengers and Hawkeye. Hawkeye, man, he became freaking Ronan, I believe it is, in the comics, and he's become Ronan right now. So I think his family got snapped away too, and he looks ticked. He looks like he's ready to kick some butt and kill some Thanos. So I think it's going to be good. And then Scott Lang's missing, man. I'm not going to tell you anything other than that, but Scott Lang's missing. Ant-Man's missing. Alright? So if you haven't seen the trailer yet, you need to see the trailer. If you have seen the trailer, though, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, man, or even Twitter. I might rework my Twitter account and let you all get on that. My Twitter account should be like DK the filmmaker or something like that. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, just hit me up on that. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested. I really do want to know. Okay, so we got that, and I don't know if anybody is a movie buff out here like me. We're gonna talk about all kinds of different stuff throughout the days and months and whatever's on this podcast. But the Golden Globes was announced yesterday, and I was excited. I couldn't watch the TV because I had to go to the doctor for an ear appointment. I've had earphones ever since I was at least 4 or 5, and I've had like 22s put in multiple times. It's a lot, yeah. But so I'm going to the ear doctor yesterday, and there's the Golden Globes, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't watch this. If I watch this, I'll never want to get up and go to the doctor. So I had to turn that TV off real quick, and I looked them up later. And Black Panther's got daggum Golden Globe nomination, man. It's got Golden Globe for like best motion picture of the year, and that is amazing. A freaking superhero movie with an all African American black cast has got a daggone Golden Globe nomination. One white dude in the film. One white dude had to represent. But it's awesome, because Black Panther was an epic, epic film. They really touched everything on it real well. And Stan Lee, God may he rest in peace, did such a wonderful job with that character and with that whole story that when they brought it to screen, everything that you saw from his arc all the way down to whoever's writing nowadays, I can't pronounce the dude's name, did such a great job with it. And I just want to say kudos to Black Panther for that. Who else had Golden Globes, man? Freaking Bohemian Rhapsody. I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody yet. There's a bunch of movies I haven't seen yet, man. But Bohemian Rhapsody's up for one. If Bill Street could talk, Bill Street is directed by Barry Jenkins. Yeah, Barry Jenkins. He's the guy that made Moonlight. Moonlight was really good. The cinematography on it was really beautiful. And I think Bill Street's going to be good. Um, Best Motion Picture Drama, I think Black Panther could bring it home. I really do. Bohemian Rhapsody might be a close second to Star. I think A Star is Born is going to sweep it all, just because that's how Hollywood works. Um, let's see, Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. I think Melissa McCarthy may have this with her new movie "Can You Ever Forgive Me," and she's got a different role for this one. She's not doing comedy. No, 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 no. She's doing freaking drama, man, and it's gonna be different. It's dark. It looks dark. It's a different role for her. You've never seen her in this. She's always been Snooki or the comedy chick, you know. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see that. Um, sorry about that. Best actor in a motion picture drama. Bradley Cooper, maybe. I don't know. He could be best director. I think. I really do believe he could get best director for Golden Globes. When I Golden Globes and Academy is different things, and when they announce that, I'll give my opinion on that. And I want to know your opinion on this too, so let me know. But best actor, I think it'll be Bradley Cooper or Mr. Robot himself. You know, the guy that plays Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it could be him. Excuse me. Best motion picture, musical or comedy. Uh, I haven't seen any of these. I haven't heard anything about these movies. Let's see. Vice maybe. It could be Green Book. I've heard some. I've heard a little bit about Green Book. Excuse me. It could be Green Book. Best actress in a motion picture, musical, comedy. Ellie Fisher, man. I did watch Eighth Grade. If you ever seen Eighth Grade, you gotta see Eighth Grade. That was really our time. It was really the kids' time, man. That was really for the young adults. They really deserved that. Them little eighth graders and seventh graders and all that, and people that felt that way like she did in the movie, they really deserve that. They need that. I think eighth grade. I think there should be more nominations for eighth grade, but other than that, yeah. Best actor in a musical comedy. Oh man, Robert Redford. That's it. That's it right there. Robert Redford. Nobody else on that list. The Old Man and the Gun. That was one of my top movies that I really wanted to see this year and didn't get to see. And it's his last motion picture too. You know, he's supposed to be retiring after this. So I don't know. He'll probably quit acting, but he probably won't quit directing. I don't think he'll quit directing. But best actor, it's gonna be Robert Redford, hands down, hands down. Best actress in a supporting role, man. Emma Stone. I think Emma Stone or Amy Adams could get this one. Amy Adams for Vice and Emma Stone for The Favorite. Yeah, those two are fantastic with the stuff they do and the stuff they play in. I think it could be really, really good. Let's see. Best actor in a supporting role. Excuse me. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell. Marsha Ali. I think it could be Marshall Ali or Adam Driver. I've seen Black Klansman, Klansman. I guess that's how you say it. But it was really good. It's funny. Spike Lee did a really good job on that one. He's making his comeback, really making it real well. But either Marshall Ali or Adam Driver, maybe Sam Rockwell. Best motion picture animated. Can we just say if Incredibles or Ralph Breaks the Internet doesn't win, then I think a lot of people are going to be really ticked. Because I really think they will. They're going to be like, oh man, I can't believe they win. Why did they win? Incredibles! Wow! You know, Spider Man Into the Spider Verse, I don't really know about that. The art looks really weird. It looks too CGI watercolory for me. I like my animations to be hand drawn, most of. I can handle some CGI, but I can't handle all CGI. There's some out there that I just cannot do. If you make it look like it was hand drawn, hey, I'm all for it. I'll watch it and never know the difference until I look it up later. And I'm so drawn in after that you got me hooked. But Spider Man looks too CGI, and that's disappointing to me because I'm a big Marvel and comic book fan, and so I can't see it being any good. I don't know. It wins. That's good for them. I'm not. And I don't know about best motion picture foreign language. I haven't heard of any of these movies. Best director in motion picture. Now I am a film director. We'll get on that later. But personally, me, I would want to say Spike Lee for Black Klansman, Klansman. I keep wanting to say Speedy Claxton from Robin Big, because that's what it reminds me of every time I say that. But that or Alfonso Cuarón for Romana, he's directed a bunch of stuff. But I really think it's going to be Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born. I have no idea why. I just think anything with a Star Is Born is going to win half of the nominations. I haven't seen it. It looks good. I've heard Kevin Smith talk about great things about it. I take Kevin Smith's opinion very highly. But I feel like A Star Is Born is going to win every single one of them. Every single one. Just because that's how Hollywood works. Best screenplay, motion picture. Barry Jenkins, If Bill Street Could Talk. I think that could work. Peter Farley, Nick Valagana, Valloga could get it with Brian Curry and Green Book. I think that could be one. I haven't seen none of these movies yet, so we'll have to see. Best original score. Justin Hurwitz, man. I think First Man or Mark Sharman from Mary Poppins. Best original song, motion picture. Okay. All the stars, Black Panther, that's a definite. That's a definite. And of course, Shallow Stars Born, because it's Hollywood. I guarantee they're going to gravitate towards it. Best television series, drama. I haven't seen any of these yet either. There's a bunch of stuff I'm behind on, and I hate to say that because I'm a big film geek and TV geek. I don't think the Americans will win. I don't even know if they've won any last Golden Globes. Uh, Bodyguard, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Best performance by an actress in a television series drama, Elizabeth Moss. Hands down, the Handmaid's Tale. That's it right there. That's what it is. Best performance by an actor in a television series drama, Jason Bateman Ozark. Yeah, that's it right there. I got that one. Best television series musical or comedy. I've got Barry, the Kolinsky Method on Netflix, Barry's on HBO, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is on Amazon. I got those three, but I think Mrs. Maisel could win because she swept it all last year. If you haven't seen Mrs. Maisel, you gotta see Mrs. Maisel. I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan. I got into it from my mom because I thought she watched it, but apparently she didn't until after I started watching it. So that worked out well, anyways. But it's good. It's really good. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's about a girl in the I want to say 1950s, 60s. It could be 70s. I think it is 60s though. Sorry, I got a cold. And so she's her husband is a stand-up comedian and cheats on her. And I think a small part of her always wanted to do it. At least that's how they perceive it in the show. And so when he's cheating on her, she goes up on stage and just tells it all. And it's awesome. If I had a wife, I wish she did that to me at least one time. I'd be like, girl, get up off that stage. Tell one more joke, though. Tell one more joke. Get them laughing. It's all good. It's all good. I love you, baby. Yeah, but, it's good. You had to watch it. Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical comedy. I think Rachel Brosnan, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, hands down. Okay. Best performance by an actor in a television series, musical comedy. Jim Carrey, Kidding. Yeah, that's the name of the show, Kidding. I got that. Michael Douglas, The Kolinsky Method. Um, Donald Glover, I think, could get it with Atlanta. Bill Hader with Barry just because I really liked it. Best television limited series or motion picture made for television. Um, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story, FX. I think that could get it. Sharp Objects on HBO. I think could get it. Amazon's A Very English Scandal. Best performance by an actress in a limited series of motion picture made for television. Oh, Carly Burton's up for one. Patricia Arquette with Escaping the McNamara. I don't know how you say that. Carly Burton's up for one. Donnie John. Laura Downs for the tail. Regina King, 7 seconds. I think Regina King should win this one. I really do. Best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television. Antonio Banderas, Genius Picasso. I think he should get that one. Benedict Cumberbatch, Patrick Melrose. Yeah, Doctor Strange and Sherlock should get that one. Most def, most def. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Alex Borzane should definitely get it. Um, Penelope Cruz with the assassination of Giovanni Versace in that crime story should definitely get it. Okay, we're on the last one now. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a series, limited series, or motion picture made for television. Um, why is Castle Rock not up for anything? I just not noticed that. Oh, one of the Culkin was is up for one from Succession. I didn't know that. Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler should get it for Barry. Definitely. Definitely. Make sure I was on the right one. I couldn't tell. Okay. Yeah, man, that's my opinion on that. Let me hear yours. I want to know what your opinion is. So just let me know who you think's gonna win and why. I won't tell you why, because then that'll be forever, and we don't want to do all that. Because the next one's gonna be pretty long, probably. Okay, now we're gonna get into something that I'm really ticked about, and I know there are a lot of Marvel fans and comic book fans and TV fans that ticked it out. Netflix is canceling their Marvel shows left and right. They canceled, what was it? Iron Fist first, then Luke Cage, and now they canceled freaking Daredevil, man. It's like a week or two ago this happened, but still. Why? Why? Why are you canceling one of the best shows that you got on TV? It was awesome. It was freaking amazing. The hallway fight scenes are the stuff that we look forward to every daggone season. I mean, Daredevil was one of my favorite Marvel characters. I got into it from the show first. Since I found out it was coming out, I went and got the comics. I always loved Daredevil. I always went to read the comics. But I'm from Henderson, Kentucky. And in Henderson, Kentucky, unless you want to go all the way to Evansville, Indiana, you couldn't get a comic book for the longest time. They got one now, but I ain't going to name drop that dude because I don't like him and he don't like me. So there's that. But the thing is, here in Paducah, Kentucky, where I live at now, we have a store. I'm not going to name drop it because I haven't got permission and don't know if they want me to. I'll tell you what it's called, and you can look it up yourself. It's called Infinite Collectibles. And I went and bought some comics out there and stuff, and I read the Daredevil comics and just fell in love with them, especially Born Again. Born Again was one of my favorite comics. All the religious stuff and just taking Daredevil's identity away, making him just Matt Murdock. And I mean, that's the thing with superheroes. Isn't it? You never know if Daredevil is really Daredevil or Daredevil is Matt Murdock, or how can I explain this? You know how it's the whole Superman myth. You never know if Matt Murdock is just being Daredevil in order to really fight the crime, or if he's always going to be Daredevil because it's what he wants to do. And they really went that route in this show, in this season. He went back to his black costume. If you haven't seen Daredevil again, I'm sorry, spoilers. But he went back to his black costume, man, and he really they really touched on the little stuff in this season. It was all epic, and Wilson Fisk was just amazing this season. And Charlie Cox needs to get a freaking Gold Globe just for that alone. If he'll get Gold Globe for that next year, I'm gonna be ticked. Because he deserves one for playing Daredevil. That was the best amazing role I've seen from a comic book or TV show in a long while. Charlie Cox was amazing as a blind superhero. We need more of that. We need more stuff like that. We need more retrospective and introspective stuff. We need more sign language shows. We need more shows about people being blind. We need more about the not on the spectrum and off the spectrum and ADHD and all that. We need more of that, and Daredevil was a small piece of that. And so's Atypical. Atypical is just like that about an autistic kid on the spectrum. You know, I have ADHD. I know what it's like, but Daredevil just really touched on it. And Stan Lee wasn't afraid to just do that with Daredevil. He was afraid that they would be ticked at him because he was talking about a blind dude and he was drawing about a blind dude, but blind people loved it. They absolutely loved it. So Daredevil's been canceled, man. I'm really ticked about it. It's one of my favorite shows. Let me know what your opinion is because Daredevil was just that show where I could sit back and I could watch it 10 times over and never get tired of it. Never. I love Daredevil, man. And if you know me, you know my love for Daredevil. Alex Martin knows my love for Daredevil, so that's the only time I'm going to name drop him probably throughout this whole thing. Hey, Alex, love you, man. Hope you listen. But see, the thing is, I think they should do a podcast. If they don't bring it to Disney's streaming service, which I think is why they're canceling stuff left and right, I think they should bring a podcast in. They got a podcast right now on iTunes and probably around the web called Wolverine the Long Night. I haven't listened to it yet, but a friend of mine, Adam, he told me that a friend of his who's a truck driver listened to it while he was driving his rig and everything. And I was like, "Is it good?" He said, "Man, it's awesome." He said, "It's amazing." They're talking about this dude. The way I understand it is, it's after Wolverine got the adamantium put to his claws. And so I need to give it a listen, but I think they need to do one for Daredevil because I think since blind people cannot watch it, but they can't listen to it, and they have a thing for that on Netflix. They have it, and it's still on Netflix, I know, but still they have it. They need a podcast, not just for blind people, just period. They need a podcast to represent them at least for Daredevil. Maybe that's just me being an asshole. I don't know, but I think that they should have a podcast for that because I think blind people need more representatives in that. They can't see it, but they can listen to it, And listening to it would just make their day, I think. Because they can't, I'm thinking about it as I'm talking about this, they can't just go out there and be like, oh man, look at the flowers. They go out there and listen to the flowers. They go out there and smell the flowers. Just like TV, they can't go out. They can't just sit in front of the TV and watch all the beautiful, amazing stuff that happens. But if you put it into a podcast format for them, they can hear him talking, and then they can hear the wind whistling, and then they can hear him flipping his cane out and tapping on the thing as he goes back into his Matt Murdock disguise, or however you want to perceive him as Daredevil. And I think it would really be good for them. I really do. I think they need to get on that. If they don't get on that, then Marvel is just messing up in a big time way because it's one of the most insightful and heartfelt ideas that could come about for the people that are blind. I don't know anybody that's blind personally, and I'm about to cry just talking about it. So they need to get on that. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about season 4 of Daredevil getting canceled and how we don't think there's going to be a season 4. Let me know if you think that they're going to put it on Disney streaming service or not. I really am curious. I want to know. I want to be interactive with my fans. I hope people will actually do this stuff. I'm just going to be sound like an idiot for this first podcast. So I've been reading the new comic that's come out in graphic novel format because I get all my comics at the library. At the library. You're welcome. It's called Batman White Knight. And there's going to be some spoilers. I actually am going to warn you. If you haven't read Batman White Knight, pause this bad boy or go about your own business because we're about to get into this. So, Batman White Knight is for DC's Black Label. That's the mature off-brand label. Okay, and basically it's this: Joker's gone sane. He's finally gone sane. I haven't got to the last issue yet. I'm gonna read it tonight, so there will be a spoiler for the ending. But from what I've seen so far, he I'm assuming somebody sent him a freaking telegram or text. I don't know how they do in Gotham City. They got a bat signal for Batman. I don't know about anybody else. Courier maybe? That's something to talk about, isn't it? Get some people around, talk about that. We can do that. We can do that. I'll have guests on the show at one point. So basically, Joker was doing his own thing, leading Batman across stuff. Batman's going across rooftops and clattering away on there. And they get to this warehouse, and Joker says, "Hey, there's some pills there. I was told that these pills, don't know who told them, I was told these pills would make me sane." So Batman, being Batman, he was being a real dick in that comic. He takes the pills and he shoves them down the Joker's throat. He says, "You want the pills? Here, take the pills." And so Joker takes the pills and stuff, and about 2 weeks or something goes by, and Joker's not sane. Joker's not insane anymore. He's sane now, and you know what he's going by? Jack Napier, just like Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and just like Batman 1989 by Tim Burton. Okay, and so I've read some of it, and there's two Harley Quinns. That's the thing that got me the most, and I knew it was coming because I've read some of the DC Comics, The Death of the Family, and all that. But apparently, the original Harley Quinn that they made from Batman the Animated Series was the first Harley Quinn, and the really more showing all her sides and slutty Harley Quinn is a second one. And I thought that was interesting because the Joker never noticed because he thought it was just Harley Quinn. And I'm not going to get into why there's two Harley Quinns, but I thought that was kind of cool. The action's really good. The storyline's really good. It's really into the news story and really kind of political. So that's really cool. If you haven't read it, you need to read it because it's probably going to be one of the best comics of the year if it's not already. Any Batman comic almost is one of the best Batman comics. Like I'll give you an example just how much I like Batman comics. I've read Hush, I've read Night Quest, Nightfall, and all that jazz. I've read every single one of DC Rebirths and the ones before it. I've read like I won't say I've read almost every Batman comic, but I've read plenty. And the artwork's always good, the story is always good. It's pretty cool. You have to read it. So okay, so now we're almost to the end here. We're gonna talk about something that I did about 2 years ago. I made a movie. I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. I made a movie. I made a movie for a class when I was going to school called going to college. I may as well say called Directed Fate. If you haven't seen or heard Directed Fate, I know a lot of people haven't. Go to YouTube. Pause this bad boy. Go to YouTube. Click the little search bar area there and type in Directed Fate, and it should be the first one that comes up. Directed Fate, the short version. I'm still trying to edit the full length version. I got all the clips. I got most of the clips, anyways. I couldn't get the rest because I couldn't even find nobody to play the girlfriend in the movie. But watch the movie, come back. I'm gonna go ahead. If you want to go ahead and keep listening, that's fine too. But just know I'm gonna be getting real into it. And so I made this movie, Directed Fate, about 2 years ago, and it was about this kid named Jason, whose girlfriend gives him an ultimatum. She says, "Hey, you're way too into this comic book stuff. You're gonna either have to sell these comics or break up with me." She said, "Because I'm not gonna be sitting around here while you looking at the funny books over there, and I'm laying on the bed looking all sexy and stuff. I don't say that in the movie, but I should have. Oh well." And so he goes to the comic book store, which hit hit wink wink. It's Infinite Collectibles, run by my friend, who let me thank you by the way, Alex. Let me run the thing and just shoot there, direct there, and man, it was just It was awesome. We made this whole movie in a week. Yes, a week. I believe I made this whole movie in a week or at least 2 weeks. I can't remember. This was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was a week or 2 weeks. It might have been free. But anyways, so it's about that, and um, Alex playing himself tells him, "Look, man, I'm gonna make you a deal." He said, "Your dad wouldn't want this for you." He said, "Your dad never wanted you to have this kind of life. He wanted you to do better." He said, "I'll make you a deal. You go out to the Paducah School of Art and Design, which is where I was going to school at in Paducah, Kentucky, going to college at in Paducah, Kentucky, and you go out there, and if you want to keep the books, you can keep the books." But he said, "I'll take the books if you need me to. But first, I want you to go out there and I want you to meet a guy named Mr. Charleston, who's a teacher." He said, "Him and Dylan Bell's going to be out there." And he said, "Dylan Bell's a director that I grew up with as a kid." And so I don't want to ruin too much. I guess I can because it don't matter. But Dylan Bell, Alex, and Charleston were all friends with my dad, with my fictional dad in the story, because the story was like a love letter to my father. My father had died on June 4th, 2014, 15, yeah, 14. He had a heart attack and stroke, and he had gotten rehab, and he started having, I think, brain aneurysms, and that's what really killed him a year later. We got a whole other year with him, so we was lucky and blessed with that. And I wrote this about him. I wrote this to be able to work the pain because excuse me, I was over the pain, but I really wanted to write it down because they say write about your pain and write what you know. So I wrote about my dad. I love my father, and I always will. And I really hope I did write about him in this movie because I really want to. I love him so damn much. He's my father. You get the one. If you don't have a good relationship with your dad and you want to, that's up to you. I'm not gonna push. I've never been a pusher. Work it out. You don't want to be there at the end of the day or at the end of your life wishing that you could have made things right. Because I really hope there's a heaven. I really hope that I get there and he's standing at them pearly gates or whatever and just standing there waiting for me. Hey, fat boy, because that's what he always called me. And I really hope he is because I really want to just hug him so bad and say, "Dad, I love you." And I want him to say, "I'm proud of you. I'm proud of that movie you made. I'm proud of all the movies you made." And yeah. So, but yeah, look, I made the movie and I shot scenes at the school. I shot scenes at the comic book store, and Tanner, my friend, was in it. Jose uh, shot the film. I directed it. Evan played the rehash. He played my version because we reshot those scenes, and it's gonna be good. And we're gonna get it out at one point. But if you want to watch it, go to YouTube. And I'm really hoping that people like it. I have not heard one bad thing about this movie yet. And this movie was made with like absolutely zero money. Okay, there was not a single cent put in for this film. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And so I thought that was cool. You know, I hope people think that's cool. So there's a bunch of bloopers. We're gonna get that blooper reel out there eventually. I love the blooper reel. The blooper reel is gonna make it wrong. It is. Excuse me. It really is. Excuse me. And so we're coming to the end now. It's been 49 minutes to an hour. Gosh, I didn't think this would be that long. I'm sorry about that. I really thought it'd be 2 to 3 hours. That's cool that it wasn't. So I'm gonna start working on another movie here soon. I'm gonna start writing it at least. It's gonna be called After School Fight. It's gonna be like Days Confused meets one of the scenes from Rebel Without a Cause, and I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna be kind of funny. I hope it really is. But let me know what you think about that. And hey, man, if you did listen to this podcast again, I want to say thank you. And if you know anybody out there that can design the DK's den, so I can put it in there in that little box or whatever, I don't know what it's called right now. Little widget? No, I can't think of what it's called right now. Just let me know, and we'll work something out or something. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all are having a great week. It's Friday today. I'm recording. I'll put it up either um, Friday, Friday the 7th. Is this 7th? Yeah, Friday the 7th, and or Saturday the 8th. Just to warn you, I'll keep recording, but I'm not gonna have Wi-Fi for a while because I gotta get the hotspot back to the library. You only get it for 3 weeks, and my 3 weeks are almost up. I'm gonna try and get another hotspot, and when I do, I just really hope that we'll all be. I hope you all have plenty that you want me to talk about, and plenty that you want to hear me talk about by the second episode or third episode or whatever it is. So, thank you, and just have a great day. Bye.